It's been a tough road for the Boston Celtics lately, and the injury to Jason Tatum is no exception. While it's clear that Tatum's absence is a significant blow, especially for a team with such high hopes in the postseason, there is still hope on the horizon. And I know you're all wondering just how bad the situation is and what the timeline looks like for the Celtics star. So let's break down the details of Tatum's Achilles injury, the surgery, and what this means for him and the team in the coming months. There's a lot of speculation and uncertainty, but we can at least begin to wrap our heads around what we can expect as fans of this team. Tatum is an essential piece of the Celtics puzzle, and with his Achilles injury, we're talking about a setback that no one saw coming, not in this form, not at this time of the year. It's important to emphasize right off the bat that this is a major injury. Achilles injuries are serious, and anyone who's watched basketball over the years knows how these types of injuries can drastically change a player's career. But there's still room for optimism. Jason Tatum's injury, while devastating, came with one significant advantage. He had surgery just 12 hours after suffering the tear. That's pretty rare when it comes to Achilles injuries, and it gives Tatum a better chance for a successful recovery. You might wonder why that's such a big deal. Well, let's look at a few examples from the league to put it into perspective. Damian Lillard, for instance, didn't get surgery until 5 days after his injury. That's a big gap. And then we have players like DeMarcus Cousins, who waited 4 days, and Wesley Matthews, who waited almost a week. Those kinds of delays aren't uncommon, but they also mean that recovery times can be longer and more complicated. What makes Tatum's situation stand out, however, is that he had surgery so quickly. This isn't the norm, and it's crucial because it means that the rehabilitation process can start sooner. And there's another interesting point here. Tatum and Kevin Durant actually share the same surgeon. Martin O'Malley, who is renowned in the field of Achilles surgeries, is the one who operated on both players. It's a fortunate circumstance for Tatum, as he was already in New York City when the injury occurred. A lot of players face the challenge of having to travel from city to city to find a surgeon or to get surgery done, which can delay the process. Tatum didn't have to worry about that, and it certainly played a role in him getting that immediate care. In fact, the surgery took place at one of the best hospitals in the world, specialized in sports injuries, particularly for NBA players. That's great news for Tatum considering the seriousness of an Achilles tear. Now, I know it's not all good news. This injury is still a massive blow for the Celtics, and the reality is that Tatum will likely miss a significant portion of next season. The road to recovery from an Achilles injury can be long and grueling, and while the quick surgery is a positive sign, there's no way to guarantee how quickly or how well Tatum will come back. That said, the fact that he's only 27 years old is a huge advantage. When we look at other players who've suffered similar injuries, many of them were over 30 when they tore their Achilles. Tatum's youth gives him a better chance of bouncing back strong. Combine that with the quick surgical turnaround, and there's reason to be hopeful about his recovery. The question everyone is asking, though, is what this means for the Celtics' future. When does Tatum come back? Well, according to experts and considering the typical recovery timelines for Achilles injuries, it's likely going to take a full year for Tatum to fully recover. That puts us at the end of next season before we even see him back on the court if everything goes smoothly. Some people are speculating that Tatum could return at some point in the latter half of next season, maybe even for the playoffs. But honestly, I wouldn't rush him back. As much as we want to see him back in action, the most important thing is ensuring that Tatum comes back at 100% and stays healthy for the long run. The last thing we want is for Tatum to rush back too soon, only to suffer a setback that could derail his career further. It's better to wait, give him the time to fully heal, and make sure he's ready to go at the highest level possible. The good news is that the Celtics, despite the loss of Tatum, still have a team that can compete at a high level. There's still basketball left to be played in this series, and there's still a chance for the Celtics to come out on top. We've seen this team execute well in games 3 and 5, hitting their shots and converting opportunities. If they can continue to play with that level of focus and intensity, they have a solid chance of tying up this series and pushing it to a Game 7. The key here is execution. The Celtics have had the right process in place all along, but they haven't always executed to the best of their ability. That's what they need to focus on now. If they can hit their shots, especially from the three-point line, they can win. In Game 5, they shot better from 3 and took care of the basketball, which helped them dominate the game. It's all about taking care of the fundamentals and executing when it matters most. It's been a tough stretch, but there's still hope. The Celtics have the talent, they just need to put it all together. I'm excited to see how they respond in Game 6 and whether or not they can even a series and force a Game 7 back in Boston. This is far from over, and the Celtics still have a chance to make some serious noise in this postseason. But let's be honest, the focus for now has to be on Tatum's recovery and making sure he comes back stronger than ever. If the Celtics can weather the storm without him and keep playing the way we know they can, they'll be in a good spot when Tatum is back and ready to lead the team again. It's going to be a long road ahead, but with a little luck and a lot of hard work, Tatum's best days in the NBA are still ahead of him. We just have to be patient and trust the process. As the Boston Celtics move forward without their star player, Jason Tatum, there's still a sense of hope within the fan base. While his injury is undoubtedly a massive blow to the team, this is far from the end of the road. The Celtics have the depth and the talent to make a serious run in the postseason, even without their top scorer. But it's going to take a collective effort. And that effort starts tonight in Game 6 against the New York Knicks. The importance of this game cannot be overstated. It's a must-win for Boston if they want to force a Game 7 and have any chance of making a deep playoff run this season. While the injury to Tatum has left a cloud of uncertainty hanging over the Celtics, they still have plenty of weapons to use in their arsenal, and the game plan should revolve around keeping that confidence high and executing under pressure. It's clear that for the Celtics to win Game 6, they need to keep playing their game. They've proven in the past that they can hang with the best when they execute properly. Game 3 was a perfect example of how the Celtics are capable of taking control when they play disciplined basketball. In that game, they didn't try to force anything. They stuck to the system, hit their shots, and played solid defense. That's what they need to do again tonight. Nothing fancy, just fundamental basketball. This is the beauty of Boston's offense. It doesn't rely on one player to succeed. Yes, Tatum is an MVP caliber player and his loss is significant, but the Celtics still have a roster filled with talent. Jason Tatum might be the focal point, but the Celtics' ability to move the ball, create opportunities, and play team basketball has always been their strength. If they stick to that formula, they can take down the Knicks even without their best player. Another key for Boston's success in Game 6 will be their defense. The Celtics have consistently been one of the top defensive teams in the league, and that won't change just because Tatum is out. In fact, his absence might actually give the other players more of an opportunity to step up on that end of the floor. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Al Horford all have the ability to lock down their matchups, and the team will need that level of intensity from everyone on the court tonight. The Knicks have a talented squad with players like Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson leading the charge, but if the Celtics play their trademark defense, they can make life difficult for New York. The key is to continue applying pressure, switching on defense when necessary, and closing out on shooters to prevent easy looks. Boston has done a good job of keeping opposing teams from getting into rhythm in this series, and that needs to continue in Game 6. Of course, it's not just about defense and ball movement, it's also about taking advantage of opportunities when they arise. The Celtics have shown a lot of growth this season in terms of staying composed in clutch situations, and they'll need that poise once again in this must-win game. The Celtics need to capitalize on every opportunity they get to put points on the board. Whether that means getting out in transition, hitting open threes, or converting on easy looks in the paint, they can't afford to miss chances. Every possession will matter, and every shot will count. That's the type of mentality the team needs to bring into this game. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a surprising turn of events during the NBA playoffs, Boston Celtics player OG Anunoby has come under scrutiny for reportedly directing offensive language towards an opposing player. The incident, which has sparked significant controversy among fans and analysts alike, is deemed unacceptable by both the league and the broader basketball community. The NBA has confirmed that it will intervene to investigate the matter thoroughly and determine appropriate disciplinary actions if necessary. OG Anunoby, known for his defensive prowess and versatility on the court, found himself at the center of an intense exchange during a high-stakes playoff game. The heat of competition often leads to heightened emotions, but crossing the line into offensive behavior goes against the league's code of conduct. The NBA prides itself on promoting respect, sportsmanship, and professionalism among its athletes, especially during such a critical phase of the season. This incident has ignited a debate about the pressures athletes face during playoff contention and the standards expected of them as role models. While physical aggression and competitive spirit are part of the game, verbal abuse is clearly off limits. The league's swift response highlights its commitment to maintaining integrity and respect within the sport, sending a strong message to players and fans that offensive conduct will not be tolerated. The Boston Celtics, a franchise with a storied history and passionate fan base, are no strangers to intense playoff battles. However, the current situation involving Anunoby risks overshadowing their on-court efforts and progress in the postseason. Team officials have expressed disappointment over the incident and assured that they are cooperating fully with the NBA's investigation. OG Anunoby himself has yet to make a detailed public statement, but sources close to the player suggest he is aware of the seriousness of the allegations and is prepared to face the consequences. This moment serves as a reminder that professionalism and respect are crucial regardless of the pressure or stakes in the game. As the NBA playoffs continue, to captivate basketball enthusiasts worldwide, the league's handling of this controversy will be closely watched. It is an opportunity for the NBA to reinforce its values and ensure that the intensity of competition never compromises the spirit of the game. Fans, players, and teams alike hope for a resolution that upholds fairness and decorum, preserving the honor of one of the world's premier sporting events. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.